Good morning, guys. So I wanted to make a video today. I wanted to focus on David Bowie and the death hoax. Um, David Bowie is alive. This is my opinion. You can agree to disagree. But David Bowie is alive, and I'm going to show you why I think David Bowie is still alive. I'm going to break this down. The thing I want to show you is that David Bowie is impersonating a man named Jack Stephen. Now let's meet the real Jack Stephen first, okay? This is the real Jack Stephen.
I am what's known as an A&R man. I'm probably one of the last of a dying breed. I have my own record label in London. I have it distributed through Universal. I've been involved in working for many major record companies and signed many acts over the years, which include the Eurythmics, Sade, Nella Cherry, X-Ray Specs, Bow Wow Wow, Jamiroquai. I've been asked here as a...
All right, so this is the real Jack Stephen. Okay? Now, let's take a look at Jack Stephen.
So Jack Stephen, we've heard about widespread abuse in the film industry, theatre, fashion. What about the music world?
Well, you've had people like Jimmy Savile. I mean, you've had people like Jonathan King. Certainly from my experience in the business, I've been doing it since I was 16, since the early 70s. There was widespread abuse throughout the big institutions.
How did it manifest itself?
Pressure, fear.
Okay. Let's just, take a look for a second here.
Complete outsider.
First of all, let's take a look at some features here. Okay? Let's take a look at the nose. That nose is different. Those eyes are different. Those eyes are different. This is not the same person.
Ambition. That's how it used to sort of come through. To talk about Dallas's music scene. I have to stress that I am here on vacation, and I'm spending a lot of time in Dallas because I have a girlfriend here who I've fallen in love with. My old age of 53. I've been going out and looking at acts and looking at different kind of venues and sort of trying to get into the scene here. And I have to say, I've been incredibly surprised by the sheer quality of what's going on here, but also saddened by the lack of help and...
Look at those teeth. Now let's take a look at this guy here.
I know I can't mention names, but an artist that was very close to me, she was invited to do a Radio 1 lunch, for example. She sat down to next to a very important...
Guys, this is David Bowie in disguise. He's portraying Jack Stephen. Now, let me just prove to you that David Bowie was a master of disguise. Okay?
The 70s, 80s, 90s.
He wasn't frightened of change. And so to him, every album was a different persona. And so he loved doing that. One point he had Ziggy Stardust, next point he had Ed Insane. And he wasn't frightened of plagiarism either. He used, for example, the Hunky Dory photograph on the album was actually based on Marlene Dietrich. And so he wasn't frightened where he did, where he used his influence from.
He has changed. You're going to tell me that this person is this person? You're telling me that that is him? Really?
He was hugely influential with me because I was A&R at RCA when he was sort of to the tail end of that. And I signed a band there called Eurythmics, which I was having terrible problems with. I mean, really, well, nobody liked them at the label. I mean, promotion didn't like them, press didn't like them. I mean, nobody did. My boss didn't really like them. He kept telling me that they were weird.
David Bowie is like identical twins. Get that goofy kind of haircut. Look at those teeth. Look at that chin. Of course, the nose is a bit off. You know, with the Hollywood type of magic they can whip up, they can make them look a little bit different. Throw people.
David Bowie was a master of disguise. Now, I don't know what happened to the real Jack Stephen. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Guy. But there's not too many videos of him anymore. Now what you see is you see this guy.
An executive there, and I kind of left them to it. And then the following morning, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. I mean, it was unbelievable. And I was being shouted at, said that my artist is a disgrace. Get into the office as soon as possible. We have to deal with this. Our relationship with radio could be,
David Bowie is alive, and that's David Bowie. If you guys can't see that shit, I don't know what to tell you. But he was a master of disguise. You can see it's the same teeth. It's the same nose. It's the same voice. The other Jack Stephen looks completely different. So you be the judge and you tell me if it's just me or did David Bowie fake his death just like Michael Jackson probably faked his death, just like Prince probably faked his death, just like a lot of people that you think are dead are not dead. And I could keep going on, but I don't want to get my channel taken down by saying some shit that's going to offend some pussy. So, you know who's not dead, and you know who's dead, and you know who's not dead. George Floyd. Sorry. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.